Good evening, Dolphin fans. Welcome to the third episode of the Fins Bandwagon. I'm your host, Hank Son Fins Paws, and with me is my dad, Fins to Win. Hank, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, son. What's the good news of the day?
Happy anniversary, Hank.
Oh, thank you. Why, thank you. Yes, it is my wife's and I 10th anniversary, but we've known each other since way back in high school. So
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Welcome everyone who's joined already. Steve, we know you're always going to be there for us. Smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining the show. We have a lot to talk about. A couple of days ago, I was on the post-game show. I gave my raw reaction, but now it's time to lead off the show by talking to Hank, who got to experience it firsthand. We only got to watch it on our flat screen TVs, but now he's going to give us the opportunity to hear what it was like to be there. So Hank, take a few minutes and tell us what your experience was at Hard Rock, how it was for you, how the game was, and what your initial feelings were.
Yo, first, fins up and what's up, everybody? I see you folks over there. Thanks for tuning in. And my reaction was overwhelming because I got to watch them win the first home game that I actually went to. So my wife had a great time. I had a great time. The experience was unbelievable. I lucked out with the seats that I got because I'm on the visitor side. So I got some really nice seats at club level, at the 200 level. And it's nice because it's a nice area up there. They have all the stuff you need. There aren't big crowds usually until, of course, everybody knows halftime. So
that tramp stamp with Dolphins tattoo, Steve. I gotta love him. Tell him you got the tattoo. He goes, Hank, when are you gonna get that tramp stamp Dolphins tattoo? There it is, boys, oh boys. That's a beautiful one. He promised it, he got it. So you were overwhelmed.
Yeah, get a tattoo. I got one. I have another one scheduled.
Good for you. Different logo?
22nd of September. That's going to be for the first win. I had to schedule this one because it's going to be so massive and so expensive. I had to save up for it.
Good for you. Good for you. But there's a couple of people on this network who we're going to get tattoos at the end of the year when he proves them wrong. We were wrong about Tua, but we'll get to there later. You were overwhelmed, but that's one thing Stephen Ross has done, eh? Like the one thing he can do is I can don't hold our breath. We have this annoying producer in my ear. No, but honestly, one thing that Steve Ross does is he knows how to build. So that stadium with his own money, what he's built in that Hard Rock Stadium is something amazing.
Yeah, it's a good time. They could do a few things different because remember, I went to the Oakland, used to be Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Their new stadium once they became the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
I went there and they had you could order food at your seat and it comes to you and all that stuff. So that was pretty amazing. Everybody had a little screen at their seat where you could order whatever you wanted.
That's cool.
And they bring it down to the aisle and just pass it down.
Yeah, but that's indoor. You went to the one in Vegas, or the one in Oakland. Well, Vegas is indoor. In Miami, the iPads would melt in the sun, especially on your side. So it was a great experience. Did you feel the crowd? Because it was over 65,000. They said that showed up to that game, which was amazing. I've never seen a crowd like that.
I felt the crowd, and as far as being in the heat. Where I'm at, that's what I'm saying. I'm right below.
Yeah, it's perfect.
The luxury boxes.
Yeah.
Which means I'm in the shade.
Good for you. No, but I think other people.
I'm in the shade.
But not the people down there. 110 degrees at field level. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was watching it because most of them were Patriots fans, so I was laughing. I was like, watch this, honey. They're all gonna roast down there. I was having a good time.
Yeah. Did you tell?
Just like when they were leaving. In the middle of the fourth quarter, and they all started kind of piling out. Yeah. I said, see, they know that they're going to lose. That's why they're leaving so early.
Yeah. I hate to break the news.
Of listening to Brady this, Brady that. Yeah. Okay, no more Brady. Now what's the Patriots doing? Nothing.
Exactly.
So
we're going to talk about that.
Positive spin on that is we kicked their butt.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to let Kenna know, unfortunately, there's no passing on ownership. Now he's giving it to his daughter. He's not even giving it to that bum Beal. He's giving, who's not much more impressive. He's actually going to keep it in the family. He doesn't want to let go of it anytime soon. He knows what kind of money he's making. He knows it's a money maker in Miami. He knows he's going to get his Super Bowl within a few years. So he ain't let go of that team anytime soon. It was a great crowd, everything. So what were your key observations from the game? Because you've got to experience it firsthand. So what did you notice about the team on a high level?
Oh, man. I noticed that they weren't able to run the ball as much as I had hoped they were going to be able to. I noticed that people were getting hurt too, which took people that I wanted to see play more out of the game because they were hurt for a little while there.
Yeah. Austin Jackson.
I wanted to see how he did, and he got hurt. So I don't know how bad he's hurt or whatever. I haven't.
They actually said it was on the Ingold play. It was on the Ingold 3rd and 1 that he got hurt on that 4th and 1 on Ingold. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I enjoyed everything about the game. I was there just having a blast, to be honest with you. I mean, anytime I'm at a game and my team's winning, I'm all excited.
No matter what the score is, right? No matter what the score. No matter what the score is, right?
No matter what the score is, I still want my team to win. But it's not as thrilling as when they're actually winning. And you shelled out a few dollars here and there to go to this game.
Yeah.
And when they're winning, it makes it worth those dollars, is my point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know everybody puts a little bit of a strain in their pocketbook to go to these games.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm hoping to go. I've been to a few games at Hard Rock, and it's been an amazing experience. But my goal is to be one of those fans who's on the opposite side and go to an away game this year, just to feel what it's like to be on the other side of it. I think.
I've done that. I've been at Gillette Stadium, and I've been at the Las Vegas Raiders. I've been at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
I've been a few places, but I had never been to a home game.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been a fan forever, over 50 years. So
you picked the perfect time. You picked the perfect time on the 50th anniversary of the perfect season to come watch this team, because I could tell you we're going to go through all the different areas of each area of the team, because I think we should see the highs and lows and focus on the positive. But for me, 2 days later, you want to know what? Like I said before, a win's a win. And there are a lot of teams right now, like Denver, like San Francisco, that are Indianapolis. There are a lot of teams right now who are scratching their head. Yes, it's only one game. You want to know what? In this season, especially with the kind of division, the kind of conference, you need to win your in-conference games. You and I had high predictions on what they're going to do in their in-division, and you have to win your in-division games, no matter what. So
that's right.
Before we get into what each area of the team and how everyone did and what your thoughts were on key players, I'm going to ask you about. I just want to take a moment, and as you saw the title of the show, we cracked the Belicheat code. And the one thing I just want to do is I want to have a moment of silence, because the one thing, or a second of silence, for Bill Belichick and his New England Patriots, and the fact that the era is over. And we made it very clear that the nail in the coffin is over. We never have to worry about these stinking Patriots again. So
the energy was off the hook.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
How the energy was. It was crazy. Dolphins fans were definitely in the house. You had Patriots walking by going, "Go Patriots," and I said, "Yeah, go home is what you're gonna go. Go home a loser." And they went home as a loser too. Yeah. There was one guy, he kept jumping up in front of me and going, "First down!" whenever the Patriots would get a first down. So you know what I'd do? I'd go, "First down!" Every time we got a first down.
Yeah. Well, what was amazing,
hey,
in the first half.
Don't jump up in front of me in my face and do that. That's just being rude.
Yeah, well, exactly. But you just shoot it right back in his face. That's what you do. We're the humble. We're the nice fans. We're the nice fans.
Dolphin fans I'm a nice guy, but you don't got to be a jackass.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, we have a few of those on the network, but we're going to get them around. One thing, though, you will notice, though, is that in the first quarter, they really, I'm sure you felt it too, and it's something that was one of your main concerns, was the linebacking core in the running game, and they were able to run it down a little bit. It was a little leaky in the beginning, but that was the one thing that we did, like the same way we turned it around on the bandwagon, they were able to shore it up. So from your overall perspective of the game, before we go deep diving into each area, Did you find that that our team is still focused on is still defensive driven, even with all the stars on our offense? Do you feel like right now, as McDaniel said after in the post game, that right now the defense is the leader of the team? Like that's we're right now going to focus on defense for the first few weeks until our offense gets up to speed. That our defense is going to win us those games, those key games that we need.
Yeah, well, they better win it against Lamar Jackson's coming up, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to have to do something. You can't just let the wheels fall off. And, I didn't think that the defense really blew it up or anything during the game. There were a couple times where they did a great job. I mean, 7 points, but I'm just saying there's always room for improvement, like McDaniels is saying. There's always room to change this or do that. Yeah. And the defense can lead, and the offense, I think they'll be fine. There's got to be a balance. He says that they're going to lead and all that, but there still has to be a balance, and you got to get that offensive line making holes for these running backs. Yeah. You got to open that up. Until we open that up, everybody's just going to load the box.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference.
And push around the linemen. And I
agree with you. There was a different perspective on a couple on the post game show from a few people, and last night on overtime that actually it was more Tua and it was more just the play calling more than it was the offensive line. But I agree with you, and we're going to get there. That the offensive line, I feel, still has areas that they need to improve upon.
There's plenty of improvement across the board too.
Sure.
The defense didn't completely shine. They were running the ball on the defense. I was surprised when they stopped running the ball and started throwing it during the game. To be honest with you, I was like, okay, that works for me.
Yeah. You're sitting next to Dolphins. Thank you, Dolphins Realtor, for joining. Kenna, Steve, everyone, smash that like and subscribe button. The Dolphins.
What's up, everybody?
Were you sitting next to him? Because he said, guy in front of me was a Pats fan. And he said the guy in front of him was doing the first down with his arm. You guys must have been sitting next to each other, or there was a lot of Dolphin fans doing that a lot of Patriots fans doing that at the same time. Very, very small world. So let's get into the game a little bit. So let's go backwards, and we'll go from defense to offense. So one thing that was a concern in Dolphins universe and Finn's universe was the concern of Byron Jones being out for 4 games. I don't know about you, but I don't have any concerns about our corners. We'll get to the safeties in a little bit because they were superstars, but between Howard, Needham on a one play, but he was still great, and Cater Kohu. Oh my God, the guy is a tank. That play on the 4th down play against Mac Jones, the fact that he was breaking up fumbles, what he did that game as a Division II, Igbo sitting on the couldn't even make the active roster. That guy, you must have been wowed by that kid.
Yeah, I was like totally freaked out. I was watching him, and then I watched the replay, the TV replay on a few things, and he made other plays too that they were saying it was somebody else making the play. Mm-hmm. I did see where they gave credit to somebody else where he had actually made another play. So I don't remember what the play was off the top of my head. Maybe it's my stoner brain. I don't know.
The 4th down play you're talking about with Mac Jones when he had all the time towards the end of the game, or the first play that he made?
He made 2 very good plays. I remember that. Yeah. He made 2 very good plays, but they gave credit to somebody else when I rewatched the broadcast back.
It was it was because what's his name? I forget who picked up the fumble, almost the fumble, but but it ended up being a holding, and it was. But I don't know, the guy was great. And Darth Cater, Steve. Like I think I was watching another show today where one guy posted on Big O's show, another show, that there was Darth Cater, where the guy is just a tank, and the guy's going to be a superstar. He makes it. These between Needham and between Cater, Chris Greer is able to find these these undrafted players, and it's really amazing. And he played limited reps. I think he only played 17 snaps. So to do what he did in 17 snaps, Howard was just a ball hawk that game. Needham did what he did. But I really think, you want to know what? When Byron Jones comes back, Needham, I think it's going to go more towards the slant. I think our cornerback system, what McDaniel was saying that he believed in his corners, I was really, really impressed on how the corners play. And what were your thoughts on the first interception, Holland, Brandon Jones playing like a linebacker, Ingram's like, how did you find the safeties play? Those safeties were just unbelievable center fielders that game, man.
I had said that before the game that I believed the safeties were going to have a big role, especially Holland. And I didn't know X was going to have such a big role in it too, though.
Yeah.
I didn't think X was going to have as big of a game as he did, to be honest with you. And that interception, him knocking the ball up so that someone else could get it is just another example of, he's a Pro Bowler.
He's a captain. What did you think of? Beautiful. There was a beautiful pickup by Ingram. I think Ingram had what a game. Like I talked about earlier in the preseason, how when I saw him at training camp, how good he looked. But how did you find the linebacker core? How do you find the linebacker core played? Like for me, I feel like the weakest of all the linebackers. I think till the run zone, Roberts was okay, whatever. I think Phillips didn't. I think Phillips had one of his more difficult games. But how did you find the linebackers did? Because I know that was one of your number one concerns. But put a positive spin on why we should still be why you feel the linebackers are on the ascension, not on the descension.
Yeah, because they started out rough against the run, and then they started to come back, as you already stated. Yeah. And that's the positive right there. You saw Ingram come in and get the ball and get a touchdown. I don't know if I should share this or not, but I was in the bathroom, and all I hear is a scream. I look to my right, there's a TV there, and there's Ingram scoring as I'm taking a leak. And I'm like, yeah! Everybody in the bathroom is screaming at the same time. And I was like, okay. At first, when I started doing it, I felt like an idiot, but everybody started screaming after me. So
anytime we score points, do what you need to do, no matter where you are.
What an amazing mental image. Thank you, Hank.
Mental images are things that last forever. Yeah, Tyndall. Yes. Yeah, maybe Tyndall does need to play. We'll see how the speed. Maybe against Steve making a good point. Maybe they do give a chance to Channing Tyndall, especially going side to side with Jackson, like that with Lamar Jackson's speed. Maybe that's a very good idea. So I agree with him as well. What's up, Hammer Time? We're great to see you. We're waiting for all we need is Cap for life, and we're going to be all a big family here tonight. What did you think of? Honestly, one of my biggest studs, and I mentioned this on the show on Sunday. But what did you think of the D line? I think Sealer was great, but honestly, Emmanuel Ogbah, Oyves Mir, in Jewish terms, how good was he on Sunday? He was going after that QB. Oh my God, how they let him loose? I have no idea.
I have no idea either. It was beautiful to watch. I just love watching him get sandwiched back there. I told you, macaroni and cheese. You got macaroni and cheese, that defensive line's going to eat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't put something out there that makes them hungry.
Yeah. So now that we've talked a little bit about the defense, maybe, and I didn't ask this question on Sunday, but I think I get your point. With the way the defense played, was this truly, in your mind, a Brian Flores defense, or do you think that Josh Boyer's is going to be, and we're going to have the second half defense that we had last year, based on what you saw after only one game? Just give your gut reaction, or do you feel like there were holes, the things that you saw that were earlier in last season? What do you think?
I see this defense being more toward the middle of the year than either the first or the ending of the year. I see them more toward the middle of the year right now. They're not as clean and crisp as they could be, to be honest with you. Like you said, linebackers could have pushed up a little bit more and stopped the run. But that was my only real big gripe is the linebackers, you gotta stop the run. You gotta stop the run. And there's gotta be balance.
Cap's on the show. Now the show is a big family. I'm very excited.
What's up, Cap? What's up? Hammer time. All right.
So you feel it's more middle ground, and they still have a lot, but it's only been one game. And I think the one thing I think you noticed that the defense just did what they had to do. Mac Jones, the guy could have 20 seconds. They were covering him in all spaces. They had no separation. I told people at the beginning of the year, it was more like Devontae Parker is going to be a curse for that team because he get no separation on anyone, and now he's making the rest of his offense gets no separation. I swear to God, they can't get away from our defense at all that entire game. They should have kept running the ball, but Belichick got too big.
What's up, John?
And that's what happens, by the way, when you have two defensive coaches coaching the offense. It's not so easy to coach the offense, is it? So, what's up, John? One interesting point, which a lot of people didn't bring up, but it was actually my biggest stud because of my experience. Well, my biggest gripe last year was actually special teams and the kicking game.
Yeah.
How did you not notice how fantastic and what a difference it makes to the kind of field position we got with Thomas Morstead kicking the ball versus Matt Pilardi? Did you not see where they were starting with the ball? That guy
I was watching them before the game, and I was telling my wife, you got to watch these guys kick. You got to watch these guys kick. So they kicked the ball, and when on that one play where they punted the ball, I stand up and I start going, yeah, and everybody around me's going, looking around, going, what the hell's this idiot doing?
I would have been screaming.
The punt was going, and as all of that started happening, then they blew apart right after that. They started going nuts.
Yeah.
And my wife was looking at me like, what are you screaming for? Because nobody else is cheering.
But the smallest plays make the biggest difference. If you notice, they were always deep in their own zone. And it was actually Belichick made an interesting comment, which was really funny. He made a comment that they got to be in our area. And the reason why they failed the Patriots on Sunday was that they had many opportunities in our territory. What he didn't realize is, except on 2 drives, in the 8 or 9 times that he was in our area, they never got past the 40. So if you consider going into our 40 and you're punting as being in our area and being on our area of the field, I don't know what that guy was smoking. I have no idea what that guy was smoking. No idea. Maybe he borrowed some of your stuff.
It's like I hear all these voices when we're talking and stuff. Like somebody's interrupting or something. I don't know. Something's going on, Evan. I don't know what you created, but there's a demon amongst us.
Who is that? I don't know. I'm not sure who that is. That guy's a beautiful man, anyways. So let's flip over to the offense. Let's focus. I'm going to go from the outside to the in, like I did with the defense. So, give me your thoughts on the tight ends, because I feel like they did it. But where I mentioned this, that my biggest dud was Mike, as Miss Finns calls him, Mike Gesicki. Where was he all game? He had no use. So what did you find? Because in McDaniel's old offense, he used tight ends a lot. Where were the tight ends that game?
Well, you don't have to show every weapon you have all the time.
No.
You're right, though. He was missing. But on the positive spin, now they're well rested.
That's a great point. No, but you find that it was just the way the concept of the game that I feel Hunter Long had some plays. Gesicki didn't really have the blocking he needed to do that game, and Teason Carter got injured and all that. But what did you find that they just weren't required that game? Because I'm going to mention something. I just feel like they weren't utilized because it didn't call for it that game. But I just feel like when they did have the opportunity, they didn't really take advantage of it when they had it.
Well, I mean, he wasn't really. We all know he doesn't kind of fit into the scheme. I mean, we all know that he's not a true blocking tight end. We all know that. But guess what?
Yeah,
he's still an asset. And he's another piece of the cog where he can make them spread out again, which should open up holes for the offensive line. Yeah. As long as they're blocking, those running backs should have huge holes. Yeah. And that's what I expected to happen, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I thought the tight ends would be a big part of it, and they weren't really, it was kind of done.
There's a particular person who keeps on saying, and I'm about to be a bandwagoner, that I keep on extending the line for people. So when someone doesn't do what everyone expects, I keep on drawing the line further. But do you want to know what? It's an imaginary line, and the line can keep going as far as I want till we win the Super Bowl. So I'm going to keep on being positive about our tight ends. If we get to the wide receiver core, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle was a little quiet. I think they were holding him back a little bit because they didn't want to rush him into the game, and they were trying to find an opportunity for him. But, oh, my God, you were there in person. How fast are they?
Let's just say this. It was like Tyreek Hill again, and Tyreek Hill again, and Tyreek Hill again and again and again and again is what kept happening. Yeah. And then when Jalen Waddle finally gets the ball, he splits the defenders and just takes it to the house.
Burners.
So, pure speed.
Yeah.
And, I thought the running backs – They weren't doing too bad. It was more the offensive line, in my opinion, that wasn't holding up their end. But
We're going to get to that in a minute because
let's stick with the wide receivers.
Been talking
but that's all I kept hearing was Hill this, Hill that. So it was TNT, like I said, Tua and Tyreek. It was TNT all night long.
Yeah. Did you happen to notice on a couple of the plays I want to mention when the because I thought to mention it before, when the Patriots had the ball, the crowd was affecting them when they were taking penalties. Like I feel like I could hear it through the TV screen. You guys were loud. You guys were loud.
Yeah.
I haven't heard fans that loud in Hard Rock, and I don't know how many.
Was screaming like this.
And you still have a voice today. Oh, good for you. So what did you? So let's talk about the offensive line because I guess we're going to go in there. One thing that caught my eye and a little bit at the beginning of the game is when they were trying to run the ball, they were going to Tua's blind side. They were going more towards Jackson, less than they were to Armstead. And I feel like Armstead had a beautiful game. He was holding his defenders. No one on that side was ever getting past him. But I feel it was more – I don't think Jackson had a bad game. I feel Williams on that first snap, he improved throughout the game. But Connor Williams on that first snap, I think, gave me a little bit of a heart attack. I think I screamed louder than I did the whole game. He's about to throw it 15 feet over Tua's head. But what were your thoughts on individual offensive line? Like I gave my opinion on Sunday. Eichenberg, I feel like he was a little shaky. Greg Little came in for Jackson. Jackson did what he had to do, the best that he could. Hunt did what he had to do, but I think Williams and Eichenberg were the weaker ones. But what was your thoughts on the overall offensive line?
First of all, yes, it was very hot out there. When I was tailgating and walking around in the sun, I was scorching. But luckily, like I had said before you came on, I said that I was lucky enough to be in the shade though,
for you. You had the
whole game.
Yeah.
But as far as the offense goes, I didn't like the way the line did. I think they could have done much better. I think there's improvement coming. People they weren't doing what I saw them doing in the preseason.
They weren't in concert. I feel like like McDaniel said, they were a hair off. And every time someone would move, if Armstead would move, everyone was just like a slightly half a second off. And that made a whole bit of difference, I feel, in terms of the movement of the running game. And just, I don't think the running game was terrible. I just think that there wasn't enough, like you said, there was enough openings. When they tried to go at the end routes, everything they tried, they just couldn't get it. And yes, they have a great defense in New England, but I feel like there was areas that they could really have improved on.
Yeah. Definitely. There's always areas they can improve on with that line, that's for sure.
Oh, Samuel, thank you so much. Bobby, I'm extending the line. It was McDaniel not being able to pass the calls over to Tua, but we'll get to that in a few minutes.
Jesus almighty.
Oh, there's that noise.
Thank you, Samuel. You're welcome on the show anytime. Thank you so much. But who do you feel like which offensive lineman were you most impressed by, and which one do you feel like it was one where you want to shut your eyes, but you still do believe that, what was the one, even though they were not great, you still feel like they should be given another shot. You're not writing them off in that position for that day.
For who?
Who was your strongest lineman outside of Armstead? Armstead was a superstar, as he always is. He's a captain.
Yeah, I was about to
say. Between Eichenberg, Williams, and Jackson, who do you feel? You were saying the offensive line wasn't great. Who do you feel was the main culprit?
I can't pick one player out. It's more than just one player, in my opinion. I would say the weakest for the day. I didn't like some of the moves that Dieter made, to be honest with you. Okay. I didn't like some of the play that he had.
Okay.
But like I said, I was watching it more as an enthusiast than I was technical. Yeah. But you could tell the O-line wasn't getting the push they needed to. Like you said, the timing or something was off. There was something that it was just didn't seem right when they were out there, that it wasn't clicking. And Eichenberg and Jackson were both part of the problem in the run. But as far as the pass goes, Jackson was doing some protection. He was protecting for the pass. So I like that too.
I want to give you a cool stat to give you perspective where you were on that.
Here, let me give you a cool stat first.
Go for it.
Tua is 4-0 against Belicheat. Okay?
Yeah.
Just want Just want to point that out.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Tua's game was flushed down the toilet last night, so we're going to spin it up, and we're going to talk about him in a sec. But I want to give you an interesting stat. Do you know that the Dolphins, and I don't have had 20? I read the stat right after it's their 25th consecutive win at home when leading at the half.
Yes.
Is that not crazy? With the kind of coaching that we've had over the last couple of years, how often did we ever have the lead at the half? This must go back. This must go back to Marino. I have no idea how that's possible. Like, I was shocked. I go, Finn's bad with a quarter. Amazing. Before we get to the big topic of the day, because we had so many perspectives on the most polarizing figure in sports history, which is Tua. What did you think? I don't know. Were you walking out of the gates when the players in the game was over and the players were on the field? I don't know if you saw the highlight. McDaniel was very, very casual. What a mensch that guy is. And he walks up to Belichick, was about to put his arm on and start talking to him. Did you know this is supposed to be the GOAT of football, a leader among men? He gave McDaniel not even 1/4 of a second of his time. Do you know what that the guy's a loser to me. You can win 7 Super Bowls. The guy's a bum. You want to know, at the end of a game last night, my team, I play in a softball league. We're in the semis. I was missing part of my team. We didn't play right. At the end of the game, you go shake their hand. I know this is the NFL, but at the end of a game, it's a sport. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertainment. And this guy literally looks like the most unhappy human being doing the sport that he loves. McDaniel's a kid in a candy store, so excited to win. He was still stressed about at the end of the game. You want to know what? Good for him. He was the gentleman of that game. It was his first game. Take a minute, congratulate him. That bum. All I want to say is, I wish nothing bad to anybody, but that team, I hope they go 0-17 because
that's how he is with everybody. Though.
No, but that's sad. You want to know what? A game is supposed to be fun. We make fun of each other on the network.
No, it's supposed to be good sportsmanship.
Exactly, and I couldn't believe that.
Acting like a jackass doesn't help.
No, he's a jackass, and honestly, that's what bugs me. You want to know what? What makes me sad is that there are so many athletes who are successful athletes that turn out to be a-holes, and that's not what sports is about. Sports is about good sportsmanship. It's about having fun, and that's why we're doing the bandwagon, because we're happy. And I don't have time for this petty nonsense of negativity. What is this crap?
Well, let's move away from him then.
So let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about the most polarizing figure. So the Dolphins won 20-7. I had 31-13. You had 35-14. The offense only scored 7 points on offense. We had 2 field goals, and we had a return. We had a touchdown by Ingram on the defense. So we literally only scored a touchdown, but even with the field goals, you consider that offense, we would have won 13-7, whether the defense did it or not, which I said on Sunday. Overall, the offense didn't do what you and I expected. But Tua, without the running game being as strong, did have a 104.4 passer rating, did throw for 270-something odd yards, and he was 23 for 33 around there. He had a good overall stat game. One touchdown, no picks. It was 3-0. So
I'll take it. He managed the game.
We managed the game, but anybody said, "Well, if you look at stats, Tua was Tua." I agree, Tua was Tua, and I believe in a new scheme and a new offense where, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying where I saw during the game. I'm a homer. I'll admit that I'm a homer. Did he have his best game? No. Did he hold on to the ball too long? Yes, I think he still has his fear when Judon's coming after him, that he doesn't hold on to the ball for too long. He should be throwing it away. He's still looking at his main person. He's not thinking that if he has a first down opportunities to run, if he sees a guy coming at him, he gets a little scared. His stats were great. I think he did his job. He didn't turn the ball over. Did he have some areas where he was still similar to what he was last year?
He had some flub-ups.
We have flub-ups. But give me your overall perspective, because everyone's had their perspective. I have the perspective that if he would have scored, if it would have been your score of 35-14, and he would have gone for 350, 3 touchdowns, no picks, people were saying, well, it's a fluke. Now he had a decent stat line, a lot better than a lot of people in the NFL. He had the 5th best QBR rating in the league this particular week, but people are still thinking that he was one of the weakest parts of the team. What do you think? Give me your perspective on Tua.
Again, in my opinion, he managed the game. Now, you can't expect them to go out and be perfect. I mean, you got to remember there were a lot of new players brought onto the team to begin with, and that includes the offensive line. He doesn't know yet what he's got around him. He doesn't know yet how. I just think he's unaware of sometimes the plays that he makes. That makes me worry.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll make a bad play, and I'll sit there and go, why did he do that? And I scratch my head sometimes. But you know what? Overall, he managed the game. We put 20 points on the game. You had 2 field goals, 1 touchdown, and a defensive touchdown. So, you know, what more do you want from the guy? They went up and down the field. That's what a quarterback's supposed to do with the team, and he did that better than Macaroni and Cheese did it.
Yeah.
So he came out with a win against Belicheat.
Yeah.
You know,
Win's a win.
Belicheat again.
Yeah. But personally, for me, and we had this conversation, and one of the most, I think the number one Dolphins realist and Tua realist that I know said that if Tua does this next week and does this the week after with his stat line, that's consistency. All I want him to do is he warranting the 5th pick right now? No. But is he doing what he needs to do to win football games and not cost us football games? It was the first game, and I believe we can only go up. And I believe that, you want to know what? We will live up to the challenge of Baltimore, and I'm not going to steal your thunder from Finn's talk today, so we're not going to talk about Baltimore just yet. We'll save that for Saturday. I don't want to take away from anything that's planned there. So for me, overall, I think it was in the middle. Tua was Tua, but you want to know what? With this offense, with gelling, they didn't play a full team in the preseason. Give it a week, give it a few weeks, and that when our prediction of 3-1 or 3-1 at the end of 4 games happens, then everyone will be joining the bandwagon, the 2-1 bandwagon. So for the game,
I just want to say to everybody that's saying out there, you know, John Santos, get an NFL line and watch out. That's our Achilles. Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you. And Rankin, obviously, we want to blow out. We want to blow out New England every time. Yeah. So.
Gotta love him. Gotta love him. These guys are positive people, and you want to know what you believe. You have to believe in your guy. You want to. He won. You want to know? There are not many QBs that won. I would not want to be Derek Carr in Las Vegas right now. He's being ripped to shreds the way he played. You want to know what? He did what he needed to do. But what's interesting is how crazy and how polarizing our fan base is. You and I are more focused on the offensive line being the area that really needs to improve. There are other people who have a perspective on this network that it wasn't the O-line yesterday, it was Tua. So there's a different perspective. But even McDaniel admitted, you want to know what?
It was
his
both.
first game. Yeah, but you know what the best part about the game was? We never got concerned that they were going to lose that game. It was their game. So
he went for it on 4th and 7.
Exactly. Honestly,
come on,
and we had the ball. And you know for a fact that if it was this time last year with 18 seconds left, and we were getting the ball back in the half, that they were killing the clock, right?
Yeah.
We know that this time last year, we would have gone into that half with 7 less points. We all know that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Who was your hero, and who is your zero? If you had to pick one player, when you left that stadium, you're going, "Oh my God, he was the hero of that game," and "Oh my God, that guy was a zero." For that team, and how do you think he can become a hero? That zero can become a hero. What does he need to do?
Wow, you put a lot of pressure on me there.
I say, wow, it's a simple question. I didn't ask you that one yet. This isn't. If you want the novice softball questions, wait till Saturday. This is Finn's Bandwagon. We're positive.
Hey! Calm down.
There's that voice again. Today.
I'm saying on a positive. I'm kidding, guys.
All I'm going to say is this very quick. Hank, you are knocking it out of the park with all your points, man.
Yeah, you're phenomenal. He's the best.
You're talking about.
I'm a crap. But that's why I have him on the show. He counteracts my stupidity. If they call it verbal diarrhea, that's what they call it. So I just wanted to let you know.
All right. So what was your question again?
Who besides Bobby?
Who was the hero?
But besides my
Start with the
mentor,
hero.
besides my mentor and my hero, Bobby Melendez, who is the founder of this network, give him props, everybody. Who is your hero of the game and who is your zero? And what does that zero need to do to become a hero?
My hero of the game was Hill. He was definitely my hero. My zero of the game, I don't like throwing a zero on anybody.
Fine, a 1. A 1 on 10.
A 1 out of 10.
I said the 1. You know what I'm putting the 1? Because
I think Phillips could have
I'm
done
giving
a
you the
lot
opportunity
more
to
than
do
he
what
did.
people want. What? Go ahead.
I think Phillips could have done
Yeah.
a lot more than he did, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to come out and be a lot more electrifying than that. And it was mostly Wilkins and Ogba that were doing the work.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Could you? That was, I think, the worst play of the game of any play when when they scored that touchdown. When the Patriots scored that touchdown, why they thought that Jalen Phillips can cover a wide receiver, he completely lost where he was on that play. Like that was a bad coaching decision there. I want to read what Samuel just wrote. Tua with 2 different head coaches and 4 different OCs in 3 seasons. Tua's consistency will come together, and Tua has 4 straight wins over Belichick, and Elway's has 4 career wins over Belichick. Someone and 2 QBs with 4 wins. You want to know what? I just drew the line even further. We believe more in Tua. Just after that, thank you, Samuel. Join the show anytime. You're welcome anytime. Oh, this guy's fantastic. Love it. So. Do you feel that after this game, people are a Dolphins nation, which I think is the most polarizing fans in the NFL? Do you feel that people are overreacting to and nitpicking a little too much, or do you think that it's justified? That that they're nitpicking Tua's game with his stats, nitpicking the D line, nitpicking the offensive line. Like we all have to analyze the game, but do you feel like
let's just break it down flat? We're gonna do this for the last time. Flat Tua out. All right.
Yeah.
Tua performed slightly under, in my opinion, but he has plenty of room where he can achieve a lot more once his timing's better. Once he feels comfortable in the pocket. If I was there, I wouldn't feel comfortable in that pocket yet. I'd be walking on eggshells too. Because look at what's been done to him the first 3 years. Nothing but garbage. Yeah. And he got slammed pretty hard that day, I remember too. So anyway, the Tua argument will go on. Tua won again, period. Point blank. He won. He has a winning record still. I don't care what anybody says. He has a winning record.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know right now. And as far as the year goes, he's 1-0. There's a lot of teams that are 0-1. Half of them. Okay? We can move on from Tua.
Yeah, and also McDaniel. Exactly. You know, I could say on the most positive note, because he's honestly, I wish I could have him over for dinner. They were talking about it on ESPN today. Mike McDaniel, the calmness he has on that side of the calmness that he had, the composure that he had, the way he just is with his team. You know what it was, and that's why I think we are this community that we are, the Fins Talk Sports Network, the people who come on this show, John, Hammer Time, Kenna, Cap for Life, Hammer Time, Bobby, Brett, the Hebrew Hammer, everyone. We're a family, and that was the one thing. If you look what happened in that dressing room when there were wins, they weren't going there and screaming and jumping last season. They're screaming family, and they're having Tua lead it. They're giving Tua every opportunity, and if he can't do it this year, he ain't gonna do it because everyone is there as the lead captain to do it. And you want to know what? Anyone who's that positively motivated, how can you doubt him? He's giving every opportunity to succeed, and he's going to succeed. And the Fins bandwagon is keep on rolling into Baltimore. And by the time you and I talk next week, we are going to be 2-0 because what we're going to do to Lamar, that defense is going to carve up Lamar Jackson the same way we did last season. So
well, let's get into: is this an overreaction or is this justified?
Oh,
that's what I want to know. Has there been a big overreaction to all this?
One game.
Or is it justified?
I think that like you said, it was one game. And the reason why, when you're on the bandwagon, You always just have to look at the positive and negative, but as long as you land somewhere in the middle, you're still welcome on the bandwagon. If you're leaning towards the fact that there's negativity towards your team heading into week 2, take a break off the bandwagon, reassess yourself, and you can rejoin next Tuesday.
No, Evan.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But everyone's welcome. Even though, you know what? All those New England fans, you want to know what? Most of you were bandwagoners when Brady and Belichick started winning. None of you were New England fans. So you want to know what? With the Dolphins doing well now, come join our bandwagon because we're going to be the future New England Patriots because that's what we do on the bandwagon. We think positive.
No. We think positive.
Exactly.
Take Patriots out of that. We're going to be better. We're going to be better.
We're going to be even better because we're diplomatic. We're heading the 45th of the hour. We're going a little long, but I just want to thank everyone for joining the show. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button.
My toot's getting long.
Was it getting long? You're a young tyke.
My beard. Oh.
You and Steve mentioned before 52 years. You guys can't be a year over 40, either one of you. You guys look great. I hope to look as good as you guys when I'm your age. But I just want to tell everyone to smash that like and subscribe button. Why? Because, even though I screwed this up, I'm not going to screw it up this week. The Fins Talk Network is giving a jersey giveaway thanks to JPF Scout for the 500 subscribers. So tell your friends, your grandparents, the people down the street. Heck, on Saturday, I was walking around town. I must have bumped into 20 people who saw me wearing Dolphins gear, who struck up a conversation with me, and every single one of them got a link to the Fins Talk Sports Network, and I told them they better subscribe. So you want to know what? Join there, and you have nothing to lose, and you're going to get great Dolphins content tonight, tomorrow with the Goon Squad, Thursday with I don't do this as well as Bobby. Bobby's so much better at this than me. With Mike the Hebrew Hammer Brown and Fins Up, Bottoms Up, or Bottom Up, Fins Up. See, I'm already tired. It's been a long week.
It's the Botox. It's the Botox, they said.
Oh, it's the Botox.
Botox you're using.
Oh, it's the Botox I'm using. Holy crap. Sorry, Jason. Who said that? Oh, Steve. Oh, gotta love Steve. I love you. Steve, by the way, Steve, even if you come on audio, I'm going to tweet you after you're getting on this show. I'm going to be the first one to get you on one of these shows. And then after that, we have Brett's show. And then Saturday at Fin Talk Today. There's a lot to look forward to. I can't wait for the show to continue. I'm just having so much fun with you. It's a blast. And I can't wait for our 4th episode where we're going to talk about the 2-0 season.
Yes, I can't wait either. But I'm not going to talk anymore about that.
No, you have to
I have to hold off on that.
Yeah. Okay, contemplate your thoughts for the next 4 days.
Yeah, and I know what my thoughts are.
Oh, yeah. Save them.
An ass whooping.
There we go. But thank you, John, Steve, Samuel, Kenna.
Thank you, everybody.
Hammer Time, Cap for Life. Thank you for joining the show. Everyone, it's been a pleasure. We can't wait for next week when we're going to talk about our 2nd win of the season. So everyone, just take a moment to say, Fins up.
Fins up.